You're listening to KFWB News Talk 980. My name is Les Brown, and we thank you so much for joining us. If you're just tuning in, we're talking about starting over again from scratch. Have you ever had to do that, and how did you do that? What was the process? What did you have to do? Did you get any help? Were you able to overcome those times in yourself where you couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel and you just felt like you just couldn't take it anymore, but something happened? Angels showed up for you. I believe in angels. I am where I am and who I am because of angels in my life. I do believe in angels. The number to call is 888-539-2980. I want to hear from you and how you started all over again. Right now, I want to talk to Jim. Jim, hello. Thank you so much for calling in, Jim. Hello, Jim?
Yes, hello there.
Hey, Jim. It's great to hear your voice. Tell me what's going on in terms of how you had to start over again.
Good to be heard, Mr. Brown. I believe in angels, too. Well, it seems like I'm always starting over again. I guess one way is I just decided that I've got the power of choice and I can lose all kinds of things, but I never lose that. And that last story you told reminded me a lot of what happened when the children abandoned the marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Did I just say that? When the wife abandoned the marriage and the children, and I just turned lemons into lemonade and said, all right, what now? So I decided to become a volunteer, and by volunteering for a hospice organization, well, first thing you learn there is it isn't about you, it's about somebody else, and somebody's got it a lot worse.
Right.
So good things come of it. Great things come of it.
So you immerse yourself in helping and giving to others by volunteering, working at hospice, and it helped you to begin to look at life differently when you see people in the end stages of life. It does give you a different perspective.
Sure does. And then, when my child became the victim of a crime, I said, well, what do I do now? What do you do with this? And I made up my mind that, I'm just not going to get stuck in victim thinking and withdraw in anger. And so I decided to just hang up the corporate world and started my own little personal safety business, which was tremendous because I got to get in front of people and help hundreds and hundreds of, well, actually thousands of others prepare and prevent that kind of thing from happening to them. And so it provided a little income for my family. That was good, and very little.
But it also helped people in the meantime.
And helped other families, and pretty soon I metabolized all that. I got through my grief and anger and moved on.
Well, listen, I appreciate your calling in. I'm sorry to hear all those things that happened to you, but the good news is that you decided to volunteer and give of yourself and do something that would be of benefit not only to yourself and your family, but to other people as well. Thank you so much, and continue to keep your heads up and make things happen of a positive nature. Thank you so much for calling. The number to call is 888-539-2980. That's 888-539-2980. We're talking about picking up the pieces and starting over again. Jen, hey, thank you so much for calling. I want to hear your story. How did you have to start over again?
Hi. I'm starting over again.
You're starting over again. Okay.
Again and again.
Okay.
This most recent, I've just this weekend had a yard sale and was able to rid myself of 3/4 of the things that have been bogging me down, staying in storage, moving from home to home, through the graciousness of other people. A renting room situation. I went from a home. I lost my home in foreclosure in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
At the height of the real estate crash. I was in the mortgage business, and it's just been kind of chasing me down. I haven't had city work, but I've stayed in it, and I've had, by the grace of God, He's put wonderful people in my life that have helped me along the way.
Yes.
And I volunteer at the food bank at my church, which really puts things in perspective for you.
Yes.
And this weekend, just ridding myself of all the things that have just been sitting in storage and the rest that didn't go is going to charity, and I'm starting over again.
Yes.
And things are already picking up a little bit. Today I got a call as a notary, I got a call to do business, and you just have to keep going. 'Cause
Yes.
the alternative doesn't exist for me.
You know what? And that is key. As you said, you just have to keep going. And things are going to get better. And it's the law of probability. I'm telling you, if you just keep moving, as you're doing, Jen, things will happen. You will get a breakthrough. Even a broke clock is right twice a day. Keep on
Right,
moving.
Exactly. You know, the verse that you quote, greater is he that is me than
He that's in the world. Yes.
That's one of my favorite verses, and it is very true. And you just stay with it and stay moving forward. It's hard sometimes. It's very difficult sometimes. But
absolutely.
you know, the show that you have, it's really encouraging. I listen whenever I am on the road, and I was compelled to call in because the story being, you know, are you starting over again? I'm thinking again. How about again and again and again? Because I've found myself in a situation.
But you know what, Jen? I've had several of those as well, and there are a lot of people who are listening who have had to start over again and again and again and again. 8 out of 10 millionaires have been financially bankrupt several times. Walt Disney, he filed bankruptcy at least 8 times and had 2 nervous breakdowns. So we're in some good company, all right? Well, listen,
Yes.
I want to thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate you. You have the power to do it, and things are going to get better for you. I can hear it in your voice. And this time, this is just starting a new chapter in your life, Jen, and you won't have to repeat that new cycle. I believe this is it. You've learned the lessons you need to learn, and now it's going to be stable for you, and you're going to now experience all of the challenges that you've had in the past will now be used to create the kind of future that you rightly deserve. The drama is over. The worst is over. The best is yet to come. Thank you for calling in.
I really feel that. I believe that in my soul, and I thank you for repeating that, because that's what I felt with yesterday with the release of the last of those items going off to charity. I thought this is it.
Yes.
You know, this is it. It's
letting a lot that stuff go that you don't even know what it is. I've gone through that.
Exactly.
You're right.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. You take care, and thank you for calling and listening.
Bye-bye.
Yes. The number to call is 888-539-2980. 888-539-2980. We're talking about starting not only over again, but just picking up the pieces. When you start over again, you got to pick up the pieces. But the other thing is, you got to let some stuff go. And Jen said, I just started getting rid of stuff. I volunteered to work at a food bank pantry in my church, and it helped me to put things in perspective. But I realized you got to keep moving. And she said, I just started getting rid of stuff I've been carrying around for years. But Les, I've been starting over again and again and again. Well, I can identify with that. I've been through that. Hey, Rodney, I'm going to be right with you. Have you been there? Have you had to start over again and again and again and again? The number to call is 888-539-2980. If you are in that place right now, Seneca said something. He said, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. And so it's good to know that this thing called life, it's a process. And one of the things I had to learn, don't beat yourself up when you're going through this process. Don't beat yourself up. Don't get down on yourself. I realized, and I heard this quote years ago, that if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. I used to be my worst critic. I used to beat myself up. Why did you do that? That was stupid. That was dumb. Have you ever been there? Of course, we've all been there. And so I had to restrain myself from beating myself up and realize that it wasn't about beating myself down, but it was about being positive, about affirming that I can handle this. I can do this. I've had it before. I can recreate it again and even more. This is not it for me. And that's what we want to hear. How did you start over again? The number to call is 888-539-2980. That's 888-539-2980. I want you to call me, 888-539-2980. My name is Les Brown. You're listening to KFWB News Talk 980.